You're watching Tupelo Christian Preparatory School's Eagle Sports after the game.
Hey, I'm James Stevenson.
And I'm Megan Roman, and this is TCPS Sports after the game.
Recently, TCPS played a great game against Oklahoma, and there's a lot of good things that happened in the game. For you personally, Megan, what was something that you noticed?
The thing I noticed the most was that Will Cockrell, our pitcher, pitched a no-hitter Tuesday night versus Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's a big deal for a lot of players because not many pitchers can say that they threw a no-hitter.
That's true.
TCPS also had a great offensive game, as they may have not got as many hits, but they had a couple walks, and they actually had a huge blowout game. But we'll have Coach Lowry coming up next with one-on-one interviews to talk about the game and other stuff.
The Law's Pizza Company, a proud supporter of TCPS Sports after the game. Located on North Gloucester in the new Crye-Lite Plaza. For more information, call 841-7887 or find them on the web at lostpizza.com.
Back here with Coach Will Lowry, TCPS baseball coach. Coach, how does it feel to start 3-0 this season?
Well, it's a good thing. You always want to get off on the right foot, and I think we've set a lot of goals for the team. And the first win against Manatee was huge for us. Those guys were, I think, 21-4 last year. They had a very successful season, very successful program. So to get a win like that to start it off was really good for us.
Yeah, we did an outstanding job containing Manatee. Coach, how does it feel to score 43 runs in the first 3 games?
Well, we have a lot of goals, as I said, for the team, and no matter what competition we're playing, we want to make sure that we are meeting the goals that we set for ourselves. No matter the competition, we want to make sure that we don't play up or down for the competition. We play at an even keel. And I felt like we did that depending on the competition that we have played. So right now we're right on pace where we need to be.
Coach, now that you've seen our team play together for a few games, what do you think is the most crucial improvement that needs to be made?
Improvement, just being steady. I don't know if I would call it improvement, but one of the things that the team has to learn how to do is play with a target on our back now. I think we've established ourselves as a reputable program. We're going to the playoffs last year, and with a good start this year, we obviously will have people shooting for us. And so that being said, the guys need to learn how to play with that pressure. So I guess I don't have a lot of improvements as long as they stay exactly where they are.
We've seen terrific success on the mound for the past 3 games. Coach, do you expect for that to continue, or do you think fatigue will become an issue?
Oh, we got a program that we set forth with our pitchers, and a good off-season program, and try to keep the guys in good shape. And we also keep our pitchers to a pitch count early in the year. Both Will Cockrell and Drew Carter and Zach Bridges, who have started the 3 games for us, they've all started out really well, and once they get to about 75 pitches early in the season, we're bringing them out, kind of saving them and letting them build their arms. But as we go, we'll increase that more and more. So right now, the guys are responding. They're still strong, and we have a good conditioning program after they throw to make sure they're rehabbing. And so right now, we're in good shape.
Coach, can you give us an overview of the teams we have upcoming this weekend and next week, and what their strengths and weaknesses are?
Well, we have Holka, which is a division opponent, Friday night, tomorrow night. And last year, two very different outcomes. One, TCPS won by 10 runs, I believe. And I'm not sure the outcome of the second or either one. One of them was really close. They played one of the games really good. So Holka may be a team that, if you're not watching out, those guys will slip up on you. Manatee, again, which we started out with in the season, there's no doubt those guys are going to be gunning for us. I don't know if they expected what they got from us on the first game, but there's no doubt that they want us. And so that goes back to saying with us playing with a target on our back. The one that we really have to get ready for is our game next Friday night, which is Smithville. Smithville last year tied us for the division lead, and so they're probably going to be our strongest competition. They beat Tremont the other night, 16-1. So we got a lot of respect for that program. So we're trying to get ready for that game.
Do those teams have any star players in particular that we should look out for?
You know, I don't know if we ever look out for one player, and especially in baseball. You know, there's obviously guys that you need to be careful with, but the team in general, if the team gets rolling, the team is what's dangerous, because in baseball a lot of times they say hitting is contagious. So if one guy gets to hitting, a lot of people can do that. So I know there's an Adams kid from Smithville. Obviously, there was the Cooley kid from Mantachie. He ripped us apart the other day. He hit a home run and a double. He's a good athlete. But that being said, we just try to approach each player competitively and try to keep them all contained.
What do you think is critical to contain Holka and Mantachie both?
Well, very simply, just doing the basic fundamentals. I mean, if we can throw a lot of strikes, not walk too many people, and catch and throw the ball without making errors, and put the ball in play. And we've been doing a good job of that. We struck out a little too much for my standards against Mantachie. I think we had, even though we won the game, I think we struck out 10 times. And that's, you know, you can blame that on the first of the season, and hitting is usually always behind a little bit. So I'm going to chalk it up as that. Hopefully we'll get better with that as time goes on.
Well, Coach, thank you for being here, and we'll be back shortly after the break with more with Coach Will Lowry.
Coach Lowry, TCPS has had a great amount of success, especially in the stats, as they've had 47 runs in the past 3 games. Do you find yourself being constantly reminded, whether it be by yourself or by others, not to become overconfident, if not cocky, or to underestimate your future opponents?
Well, you know, I don't know if the reminder is there. It's all in the way we approach the game. You know, the confidence has to be there. The approach in the game, you have to be confident in your abilities. At the same time, we have those goals that we set for our team, and I don't feel like that there's any cockiness in what we're doing as far as meeting our goals. We always put ourselves to a higher standard, and our thing is whether or not we're meeting our goals as a team. There really is no cockiness. You know, there's no room in the game for cockiness. Confidence, absolutely, you have to have it. But you know, as our slogan this year, it's the guys have adopted the slogan of "Prove It." And you know, even though we've scored a lot of runs, we've really not proven anything. We haven't won the division. We're not in the playoffs, and it's very, very early. And so it's pretty easy right now to know that even though we may have won one game, but that's a small game in the grand scheme of things when we have 25 to 30 games. You know, when we get a little bit over into the season and deep into the playoffs, you know, I think then we can kind of gauge where we are as a team, because we can always go up and down.
With all the players on your team, who is one player specifically that you've noticed that has shown a great amount of athleticism, if not leadership, on your team?
Well, it's hard to ignore Will Cockrell. You know, we've all known Will at TCPS. He's been involved in every sport, and he is a senior. He's had a great year in football and as a quarterback, and done the same in basketball. But the surprise for Will has been um, on the mound for us this year. We knew that he was a good pitcher. We knew his potential was great, but we didn't know. We never know how a guy's going to perform. And he's come out this year in his very first game throwing 90 miles per hour. And he's, again, as you discussed earlier, he threw a no-hitter against Okolona and handled a very good program in Manatee. And so I think he's probably been the biggest surprise. But we knew the leadership was there. But as far as the athleticism and what he's been able to achieve in the early parts of the season, I think that's been a good thing for him.
With success comes both its ups and downs. What are some of the ups and downs that you as a coach have had to face with the success of TCPS?
Well, so far, not too many downs. You know what's coming. You know there's very, very few baseball teams that ever go undefeated. And it's just the nature of the game. Baseball is a lot like life. As soon as you feel like you got everything under control, a train hits you. You know, we have a very, very competitive spring break. We play East Union, which is 2A, Boonville, which is 3A, Nettleton, which is 3A, Shannon, and Houston, which is 4A teams. When you start playing competition like that, I imagine the downs are probably going to come that week. You know, are our guys going to be confident enough to go face those larger schools and feel like they belong on the field with them? You know, those are the kind of the bumps in the road that I'm kind of trying to head off and watch for and make sure our guys are ready for. Of course, you know, the ups, you know, as of yesterday, we were ranked #1 in the state in Class 1A. And I did send a text out to the guys, you know, now it's time to learn how to play with a target on your back and with that pressure. And so that's a good thing. Even though it comes with a lot of press and a lot of expectations, it's no different than when you go to the state championship game, which is our ultimate goal. If we can learn how to play with that pressure now, that'll just give us practice for hopefully if we can make it to that state championship game.
You talked about playing these huge schools, these larger teams, and their intimidation factor. Mm-hmm. How do you prepare your team to face these?
Well, you know, we constantly give, from the coach's perspective, we give our real life experiences of what we've done and seen, and you know, and plus there's a lot of comparisons. You see those guys play the same teams that we play, and you kind of see how they stack up. And you know, it doesn't hurt our confidence any when we do score 47 runs, and you see, you know, hey, we do belong on the field. We can compete with these guys. But you never really know till you get on the field and see for yourself. And so that's what the game is all about. You know, we've preached to the kids all year about playing with no fear. You know, even those guys are coming from larger schools. You know, they're still playing the same game we're playing. And so as long as we do things as good or better than they do, we've got a shot.
Playing against a team like Okolona and winning by the large amount that you guys have won, what is your opinion on games that, for lack of better words, could be considered a blowout?
Well, you know, to use it constructively, you know, it gives some of our younger guys a great chance to get in there and get game experience. You know, sometimes when it does get out of hand like that, it's sometimes it can hurt you more than it can help you, because it usually draws out pretty long. And but like I said, the other night, I think we got our junior varsity in really soon in the second inning, and those guys got some good quality at bats. And those guys that are playing junior varsity and varsity, those guys, you never know when they're going to step up in the playoffs or have that opportunity to pinch hit, or to somebody gets hurt, they're going to have to step into somebody else's place. So those games, even though it can be out of hand, those are constructive for us as a team.
Well, thank you, Coach Lowry. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.